Here they go. The team, Dosser Edmondson, comes onto the field as the captain of the Hughenden side, and he kicks one of the plastic footballs out of the field, and 500 children dive on that football.
And the Richmond, Hughenden side coming out. There's boys there with footballs kicking them into the crowd, and I tell you what, you've got to be very lucky to pick up one of them footballs, Kerry.
Well, they're getting plenty of practice. That's the main thing. Most of the boys have been given these plastic footballs to give away, and they're kicking the balls into the kids, and when the kids pick them up, there are prizes involved in it. They get free passes to the roller skating up here, and also there's $1 note in most of the footballs and $10 note in one of the footballs. And there we go. We've seen most of the Richmond, the Hughenden side, at the moment, have just come onto the field, and now we see the Richmond Tigers logo up on the side of the field on their side, and very shortly we will see the captain, coach Chris Higgs, who will be first through their logo this afternoon.
Yes, the Richmond players are coming closer to that tiger over there on the far side of the field, and both the referee and the two touch judges are standing in the middle of the field, and very shortly we'll see the captain coach Chris Higgs come first out onto the field for the Richmond players. And there's little footballs still being thrown around here now, Kerry. So
there's all sizes and shapes of footballs being thrown around now. We've got small footballs in the shape of actually of a football, but they're actually money boxes for the kids. A great way to learn how to save. Put your money in your football.
Yes, there's one young fellow there just walking around. I tell you what, he's very lucky. He's got two of them, so
don't kick it when it's full of 50-cent pieces.
Okay, Richmond have not come onto the field as yet. We're still waiting, and we can see the Richmond side over there that they've made no move. Very shortly we'll see Chris Higgs lead Richmond out onto the field, led by the captain coach Chris Higgs, of course, one of the famous Higgs family. Glenn Rosser, Bill Murray, Kenny Maguire, Kenny Hickmont, Greg Hickmont, Russell Litherland, Chris Higgs, of course, Rolly Flacksmith, Greg Willow, Gary Candish, Alistair McClyman, Frank Norton, of course, Frank Norton's a brother of Cameron Norton, former Richmond and Longreach player, Todd Cody, Paddy Paddle, Peter Shortner, Mark Lewis, and Artie Dar. The Hughenden side, Damien Hodgson, Russell McGrath, Wendell Bedner, Kevin Edmondson, Ron Rossiter, Reggie Davies, Robbie Eastoff, Dosser Edmondson captain, Dougie Gibson, Russell Dingle, Jeff Hanson, Philip Murdoch, Bevan Keys, reserves are Murray Finlay, Bob Mitchell, Robbie Mitchell, David Mitchell, and Wayne Bedner. The referee is Barry Jackson, and the balloons are off.
Yes, not only that, the Richmond boys are also kicking footballs. So there's a mass of footballs all around the place. Let's hope that the players don't get hold of one of those plastic ones during the game. I'm sure that won't happen. But at the moment, the two teams are on the field, accompanied by about 500 supporters from both sides, mainly children waiting to try and catch some of these footballs that have been kicked around. And very, very shortly now, we see the referee and the touch judges in the centre field. So in just a moment or two, we're going to see the kick-off of the 1981 Northwest Grand Final.
And at the moment, both sides are being introduced to the referee, and both men are now and halfway for their little confrontation. But while we've got a bit of time up our sleeve, we'll cross back to Bruce for some more Southern scores and some more words from our sponsors.
Yes, Chris, Southern scores South 5, Redcliffe 2. That kick was successful. South are now leading Redcliffe 5 points to 2. That's the only other change in scores that we've got for you at the present moment. Are you looking for a new car? Well, don't go past Never Baines Toyotas. They stock a large range of Toyota cars and commercial vehicles. Also, a good range of spare parts, and their service is next to none. Don't forget the name, Never Baines Toyotas.
If you're thinking of putting on a barbie tonight, then you'll need to see the experts at Richmond Butchery. They provide a huge selection of succulent and tasty meats and guarantee no kangaroo or horse meat contamination. So pop in and see Barry, Dick and Noel at the Richmond Butchery. They're a cut above the rest.
The Great Western Hotel Motel in Brodie Street, Hughenden, look after you. There's ice-cold beer to quench that thirst, delicious counter lunches and counter teas to satisfy your hunger, and air-conditioned motel-style accommodation. Don't forget them, the Great Western Hotel Motel at Brodie Street, Hughenden.
For international trucks, tractors and farm equipment, Daihatsu four-wheel drives, Lincoln Welders, workshop repairs and alterations, there's one place to go. Don and Brian Brebner's at Automotive and Tractor Company. You're on the lead station. It's back to Chris and Kerry.
Okay, thanks, Bruce. Referee Jackson, the both sides there. The teams now run to their respective ends of the field. Looks like Richmond will kick off. Hughenden have won the toss. Richmond will kick off, and the Richmond captain coach, halfback Chris Higgs, placing the ball on halfway, ready to put the ball into play for the commencement of the 1981 North West Rugby League Grand Final. Richmond and Hughenden. Richmond about to put the ball into play with halfback Chris Higgs. Referee Jackson asks both captains, both top judges, blows his whistle, and the game's underway with Chris Higgs putting boot the ball, and it goes back to the second hour. Russell Dingle, the Hughenden forward, come charging through on top of Dingle, but he's wrapped up there by Rowley Slacksmith, the lock forward. The ball's played back to Bevan Tees with a penalty to Hughenden, early penalty to Hughenden for the Richmond side being a bit over-eager and coming up inside the 5 metres, so the centre for Hughenden, Kevin Edmondson, will kick for touch. There it goes. Not probably his best kick all year, but we'll find the touch line about 1 metre inside Hughenden territory. And the waiting now for the ball to be retrieved from the sideline. So there's plenty of fun games up here this afternoon, Kerry.
Yes, with all these balls we've got here, surely they should have a couple more on the sideline. But anyway, a couple
more rental ones anyway.
Greatest kick from Edmondson, but now play resumes.
Okay, there goes the toss of Edmondson and away to the second hour of charging up the siding. In number 9, which of course is Doug Gibson. He plays the ball back. Here goes Bevan Tees, charges straight ahead. There's plenty of Richmond forwards in there to put him into the ground, including the second hour and Gary Candice and also Chris Higgs, the captain coach. The ball comes back to Edmondson. That's Darcy Edmondson, the lock and captain. And he's quickly wrapped up there once again by his opposing captain, Chris Higgs. The ball comes out now to Eastoff, then away to Davis, then to Edmondson out in the centres. He's certainly run into a brick wall. That was a crunching tackle by the lock forward that time in Slacksmith. The ball, Richmond, Ewan is still playing the ball out. A one-handed pass away to Reggie Davis, who's in possession and is finally wrapped up over there to tackle the winger Bill Murray. He'll play the ball back now to Brebner, then away to Eastoff. Eastoff gives it out to Edmondson, then away to Dawson Edmondson. A wild pass out to Russell McGrath out there in the wing before he's finally put into the ground by the Richmond ringer in Greg Hickmont. That's the 6th tackle on the scrum to form. And Hughenden, as they've been doing all year, they're throwing the ball around, Kerry. Yeah, it's pretty tight stuff at the moment, but it's early times in the game yet, Chris. And I think that, there's just a settling down period, and once we get that over with, we'll see some good open football. Richmond are taking their defence very, very quickly up to the Hughenden side. Hughenden have had most of the possession, but they've just made a mistake in the scrum there, put the ball then to the second rower, and Richmond receive a penalty. And it's number 6 in Russ Litherland who's going to take the penalty, and he does so and lands it right on halfway, as this is where the game started about 4 minutes ago. We're back to halfway. And waiting for the ball to come over to the lock forward in Slacksmith, who will take the tap. The second hour there in the head guard. Candy's there waiting for it, but Slacksmith runs into the Hughenden forwards that time, Ainsley and also Murdoch. The ball comes back to the second hour, wearing the number 11 jumper, Alistair McClay, that he's put into the ground. A wild pass coming back. Chris Higgs takes it, a long pass over the top of the centre's head. Finally picked up by the other centre, went over the top of Hickmont's head, and finally picked up by Ken Maguire. Not properly marked, but not marked in the play of the ball. Expected to tap the ball and go forward, and it's finally wrapped up over there by Dawson Edmondson. The ball comes back now to Chris Higgs, using the kick. The fullback for Hughenden looked like he was going to be caught out of position there, but raced back and retrieves the ball, and is finally put into the ground there by Greg Hickmont. The ball comes back, a kick through in to play the ball by the Richmond side. The ball goes in a touch, landing only about 2 metres out from the Hughenden try line. So a pressure scrum here for Hughenden, and could be some early points here for Richmond, Kerry.
Yes, good play by the Richmond side. They've kept the pressure on Hughenden right throughout since the game started. And this scrum is a very vital scrum. It's only, as you said, Chris, 2 metres out from the line. The scrum is packed. The ball goes in. And
Richmond come up with it.
Richmond ball. The Richmond ball. They're only about half a metre away.
Slacksmith plays it back to Higgs. And that is Slacksmith. The ball was taken away by the centre in Hickmont. But the ball comes finally out now to Litherland, then away to the other centre, Kenny Maguire, number 4. No, in fact, that's Kenny Hickmont. He plays it back now to Litherland, and then away to Kenny Maguire. He put it on the ground, lost it. Yes, regained, knocked it on, so it's come to form, and this come to form right on the quarter line now. Richmond used 2 tackles there and were forced back 20 metres, correct?
Yes, bad passing, that's all it is, Chris. There's some very sloppy passes there from the Richmond side, and a knock on, and we see the scrum right on the 22-metre line. Ball's put in by the halfback in Rob Eastoff. He takes it out once again, sends it out to his centre in Wendell Brebner, and he's tackled about 20 metres inside of Hughenden territory.
Ball comes back out to Eastoff, then away to the second hour, that time in Gibson. And Gibson's put into the ground there by the second hour Candice in the lot, and the other second hour in number 9 for Richmond. I'll find it shortly, it's Greg Realo. But Ewan is still in possession, some sloppy passing that finally picked up there by Kev Edmonds in the centre, and he's put into the ground in a solid tackle by the Litherland, the 5'8". The ball comes out now, the Ewan trying to work their back line again. Dr. Edmondson shows a shocking pass. The halfback Eastoff couldn't handle it. Ewan pick it up. Here goes Greg Wheeler, the second hour. He charges straight ahead. Got ahead of the tackle of the halfback Eastoff, but finally put in the ground there by Ancient. In to play the ball, the Ewan second hour Wheeler knocking the ball on, so a scrum to form, and this scrum to form about 3 or 4 metres inside the quarterway of Ewan. The
Richmond player knocked the ball on there, Chris.
The Hughenden halfback Eastoff to feed the scrum. Puts the ball in. It looks like it will be a Hughenden scrum. Yes, it is. He quick service out to Davis, the 5'8". But the Richmond players there were sweating. Slacksmith and also Litherland put him down. Plays it back to Tees, then away to Ancient. He charges straight ahead, but is wrapped up there by Greg Willow, and also in there for the tackle was Chris Higgs. The ball's played back now to Gibson, then away to Dosser Edmondson. He charges straight ahead, but once again there's plenty of Richmond forwards in there. That time Candice and also Greg Willow put him into the ground. Bevan Tees charges straight ahead. Shoulder charge by Willow, put into the ground by Candice and Chris Hicks. Plays the ball back now to Ancient, then away to Eastoff. Eastoff to Davis. Davis out to Edmondson. Edmondson gives it away to Wendell Bredner. Put it on the ground. The ball's going to be picked up by the Richmond winger in Greg Hickmont, and he's put into the ground there by Robbie Eastoff. The ball comes back now. The hooker in Norton runs from dummy half, and there's a bit of a blue going on in the behind play that none of us saw it. No, they did the referee, but play on anyway. Here's Greg Wheelow, charges up over the quarter line. Missed by Bevan Tees in the tackle. And he's finally put in the ground. Plays it back to Chris Hicks. Chris Hicks gives it out to the lock forward there, and there's a bit of a blue on now. There's a couple of players. The referee is having a look at the centre. Come into Greg, that's the boy Hickmont there. Come into have a couple of bobs worth, but the Richmond wing is still very groggy, Kerry.
Yes, I didn't see it. I was watching the play, and he got a very heavy one, and he was trying to get up and move, and he was just falling down again. He was hit very heavily. And we saw a little bit of spike go into the last tackle where Richmond had dropped the ball. The Hughenden player had picked the ball up, and he got one in the face, very troubled. And consequently, the referee has awarded a penalty to the Richmond side, to the Hughenden side. Kev Edmondson's taken the kick, and he's brought it down within 10 metres off the halfway mark. The breeze is starting to change direction a bit now. It's starting to blow from south to north on the field, so it's going to advantage Hughenden in the first half.
Yes, and Ewan in possession there. It's second hour. Gibson plays the ball back. In fact, it was Ancient played it back. Gibson now in possession. He's wrapped up there by the second hour Candy. The ball comes back to Bevan Tees, then away, finally away to Russell Dingle. And Dingle is put in right on halfway. The ball comes back now to Edmondson, then away to Eastoff, then to Davies, then to Kevin Edmondson, out to Wendell Bredner, held at that time before he's put into the ground there by the centre in Maguire and also the 5'8" in Litherland. The ball is played back. It looks like a Richmond ball. Litherland will get up and play the ball back. Jesse Willie will play it back to the centre in Hickmont. Hickmont charges straight ahead. Got out of the tackle of Edmondson, but finally put into the ground over there by Doug Gibson. So play the ball back, plays it back to the hooker Norton. Norton makes a couple of metres, throws the ball back, seeing that he had support behind him, and that time it was the winger in Hickmont, Greg Hickmont, and he's wrapped up. Plays the ball back now to Chris Higgs, then away to Litherland. Litherland away to Slacksmith, the lock forward. He charges straight into the tackle of Robbie Eastoff. Plays the ball back now to Litherland, then away to Greg Wheelow. Wheelow stepping 2-3, still going. He's finally going to run into Reggie Davies and will be asked on to play the ball back right on the quarter line. Plays it back. Chris Higgs decides to put the bomb up in the air, but will go out over the touchline on the full side. The scrum to come back just through the quarter line for the scrum. Kerry, for the ball going into touch on the full.
We can also see another player. It's the hooker for Richmond, who's down in Frank Norton. He received a fairly heavy tackle a few minutes ago and is only just getting up now to join this scrum. The referee, in fact, has held the scrum up till he got back over from the other side of the field. And some good play so far, a little bit of spite in the game, but that's expected early. And Hughenden have won another scrum. The scrum's now 3-1 in favour of Hughenden.
And Hughenden in possession. The ball comes back from Rossiter away to Gibson. He charges straight into the tackle there of the Hughenden, the Richmond forwards. That time in there was Alistair McClimate and also Chris Higgs and Candish. The ball's played back now, and it's a penalty to Hughenden because Todd Cody going up high on the one of the Hughenden forwards. The Hughenden boy is down on his back, and in fact it's the front rower, number 11 in Jeff Aitken. He seems to be okay. He's slowly getting towards his feet, but once again another little bit of spike coming in, Kerry, but of course this is that's a bit.
I think we're going to have to see a little bit more of kicking. In fact, Kev Edmondson is going to take this penalty now right from the exact spot that he took the last one and made it to within 10 metres of the halfway line. This time he's made it to within 5 metres of the halfway line, a gain of 5 metres. But the wind is consistently changing. It is now blowing more north to south than south to north. It's very inconsistent as we see Hughenden come up with the ball now. And a penalty once again to Hughenden for the second rower in Greg Wheelow, stealing the ball in the tackle. So right on halfway we see a penalty once again to Hughenden.
And once again it will be Kevin Edmondson to kick for the touchline. The penalty is saved to Hughenden by 4-1. Eric County is 3 to Hughenden, 2 to Richmond. Scrum 3-1 in favour of Hughenden. The score still 0-0. And once again it will be the Hughenden winger in Ron Rossiter to come up and take this bonus tap. Away now to Doug Edmondson. To Dr. Edmondson, and away to the second rower in Doug Gibson. He strolls through the ruck of Richmond, but referee Jackson has penalised him for a forward pass, but even though it was good play, Kerry.
Yes, it certainly was, and I really didn't think that it was a Shepherd there. But still, the referee was closer to it than I was, and he saw it. And we see the play now coming back to within 10 metres inside of Hughenden territory. And where the ball was kicked out, we see the front rower in Alistair McClimont. He's taken the ball up, pulled down by Dr. Edmondson in a good tackle. Also the Philip Murdoch, the hooker, was in there as well.
Ball comes back now to the Richmond second rower in the number 10 jumper. And that is Candy. Ball comes back now to Rowley Flacksmith, then turned it back inside. Good play by Flacksmith. He turned it back inside to McClimont, and McClimont is held up there by Gibson and Aitken. Also Bevan Tees right on the quarter line. The ball comes out now to Litherland. Ross Litherland, the 5'8" for Richmond. He threw the ball out then to Kenny Hickmott, and he's wrapped up. The ball comes out now to Chris Higgs, the captain coach. A pass to the winger that time in Bill Murray, and Murray is damaged down the tackle of the halfback, 5'8" Davies and Eastoff. The dummy half running with the ball. Flacksmith is held up once again by Reggie Davies. That is the sixth tackle, so the scrum to form down, and this scrum will form about 5 or 6 metres inside the quarter line of Hughenden, and it will be the Hughenden halfback in Robbie Eastoff to put the ball into the scrum, puts it in. It could be a Richmond ball. Yes, it is. Flacksmith takes it out. A pass out to the winger Hickmont, and Hickmont's lost it. Richmond losing the ball, Hughenden losing the ball, so another scrum, and this scrum will pack about 15 to 20 metres out from, about 15 metres out from the Hughenden try line, and once again it will be Robbie Eastoff to put the ball into the scrum. A couple of players taking a little bit longer to settle down than others, but this time that the ball will go in by Eastoff, puts it in. It looks like it will be, yes, a penalty to Richmond, put in the second row by Eastoff, so it's a differential penalty. Hughenden can only take the tackle kick to the line. And what will Chris Higgs do? He will just take the tap, yes. Takes the bonus tap, puts his head down, charges straight ahead, straight into Hughenden forward. And that time the front row of Bevan Tees puts him into the ground. Ball comes back now to Litherland. Litherland gives it out to some good play from Hughenden. The ball was out to Alistair McClymont. Betty's winger in Kenny Hickmont. Hickmont's over in the corner, is he?
Greg Willow.
Greg Willow. Yes, Willow and Hickmont up there on the blind side of the play. It was a little bit hard to detect that. Greg Hickmont,
I saw number 9 diving, and then I saw him come up with the ball, and obviously it was they both look alike, these two guys, so we'll give that try to, as he said, Hickmont.
Greg Hickmont, the try scorer, number 5, so it's first blood to Richmond by that try, so it's 3 points in favour of Richmond. It wasn't a bad try, Terry. It was good play on that blind side.
It was very good play. Chris Hicks read the play very well there. And in the first instance, when he took that tap, I thought it was very unusual that a halfback would take a penalty tap about 15 metres out from the line. Normally, you use a front rower for that, to do a bit of the heavy work first, and he would do the organising. But obviously, the front rowers were a little bit slow in getting up there. So Chris Hicks took the penalty, made it up to within about 5 metres of the line. The ball came out the blind side. Went through a couple of pair of hands, and Greg Hickmont was able to dive over and score the try in the corner. A good try by Richmond. The penalty conversion to come. A very difficult version because the wind has now reverted back to its original direction, is blowing directly across field, and he will be virtually kicking almost into the wind, and with the wind behind, or with the wind behind the ball, he'll be kicking. But it will be blowing from the south to the north. But a good attempt as well. Even though it wasn't successful, it was a very good attempt. And that leaves a score at the Hughenden Showgrounds. Richmond 3, Hughenden 0.
The Grand Hotel in Hughenden offer you first-class accommodation, a great range of good wines, fantastic counter meals, and nice cold drinks. And drop in and say hello to Mick and Murray Burns today at the Grand Hotel in Hughenden. Score in Brisbane is still 5 points to 2 in favour of South.
For truly delicious freshly baked bread and a variety of cakes, pastry, pies and other goodies to tempt you, just follow your nose into Holden's Bakery, where Bob and Marg will only be too pleased to tantalise your taste buds.
The Royal Hotel Hughenden is one of the most modern in the northwest, and Sam and Rhoda invite you to call in and try the friendly service, tasty meals, and of course ice-cold beer. Also, their drive-in bottle shop caters for all your home supplies. The Royal Hotel Hughenden, the Sportsman's Hotel.
Air-conditioned motel accommodation, a relaxed atmosphere is the way at the Mud Hut Hotel in Richmond. Why not drop in and wine and dine at the Mud Hut Hotel's lounge? The Mud Hut Hotel, the footballers' hotel in Richmond.
The game's over and everyone's celebrating, and there you are stuck with a flat tyre. Don't despair, for Bob and Ann Hunter of the Mobile V8 service station carry an exclusive range of Olympic tyres, batteries and spare parts to cater for all your mechanical needs. It's service with a smile at the Mobile V8 service station, Hughenden.
Here on the lead station is back to Chris and Kerry.
Yes, we've just seen some good play there by the centre, Kenny Hickmont, strolling through the weak defence by Hughenden, but last tackle's on the way now for Richmond. The ball comes out to Norton, then away to the other centre, Maguire. Stepped down at one tackle, got the ball back finally to Frank Norton, and then the ball will be lost by Norton. Come up, Jeff Ainson coming up with it for Hughenden. The ball comes back to Red Davies, then away to Big Bevan Tees, charges onto the ball, missed by Litherland, but finally put in the ground there by the winger, Billy Murray. The ball comes out to Russell Dingle, the second row, and he goes straight into the tackle that time of Murray, the winger, coming in doing some work, giving the forwards a bit of a spell in defence, and that time with assistance from Greg Wheelow. Ball played back by Gibson. Gibson plays it back. The ball has been lost by the halfback in Davies, and Davies has gone down in the tackle. I think he will pack a scrum for a knock-on, but Reggie Davies, when he did lose that ball, I see him, he put his head back in defence in this game, Kerry, and hope for good signs of things to come, because it certainly lived up to what everybody expected, a good grand final, but Richmond winning that scrum again and getting back inside the Hughenden quarter, and here goes Candice, who won a inside pass to the second row, McClymont, and he's pulled down by Gibson. The ball comes back to Frank Norton, then away to Litherland, then away to the second row, charging onto the ball, that time in Greg Wheelow, wrapped up by the fullback, but Damien Hodgson, but wasn't marked, got up and played the ball forward, and finally Candice goes to ground with the ball. The ball comes back to Litherland, then away to Chris Higgs, pass back inside to Big Alistair McClymont, And McClymont getting awfully close towards the try line, but he's pulled down. The ball comes back to Littleton, then away to Greg Wheeler, then away to Rother into the back line. The ball comes back now to the big front row. McClymont, it's not McClymont, it's Greg Wheeler, it looks like. Or...
That was the front rower in
Todd Cody,
wasn't it? Or Todd Cody.
Todd Cody, yes.
Sorry.
Is it no, it's no tie.
He was held up.
Held up.
He was held up. The referee indicated that he was held up, but some good attacking play by the Richmond side, and we now see the scrum packing only 5 metres out from the Hughenden line with Robbie Eastoff to feed the ball for Hughenden, and he takes it out as well. That's now 4-3. The scrums are in favour of Hughenden.
And Eastoff quickly grabbed there by the lock forward and Flacksmith. The ball comes back now to Damien Hodgson, the fullback. Hodgson beating a couple of tackles, but is finally put in the ground there by Willow and also Liverland. The ball comes back now to Reggie Davies, then gives the ball out to Edmondson in the centres, but he's wrapped up out there in the tackle of Frank Norton and also Hickmont the centre. Ball comes back now to Dother Edmondson. Edmondson gives it out to Russell Dingle, getting close towards the touchline, but is finally wrapped up there by Bill Murray. The ball comes back now to Ronnie Rossiter, then away to Edmondson. Edmondson gives it out to Bevan Tees. He charges straight up the middle, but straight in the tackle there of Todd Cody and also Ross Liverland. The ball comes out to Eastoff. Eastoff puts the kicks through. The ball comes back now to Rosser, the fullback. Glenn Rosser, and Rosser is wrapped up there in the tackle of Eastoff. The ball comes back now to the front row of McClymont running from dummy half. About 10 metres inside Hughenden territory now before he's wrapped up there by Davies, and also in there for the tackle was Ancient. Ball comes back to Candice. Candice gives it out to Hickmont. That's Kenny Hickmont, the centre, and Hickmont is finally wrapped up there in the tackle of the second row Dingle. The ball comes back after Chris Higgs done a bit of a switch and switched it with McClymont. McClymont wrapped up by Ancient. The ball comes back to Liverland, then away to Greg Wheelow. Straight over the top of one tackle. That was the tackle of the hooker Murdoch. Ball comes back to the Richmond 5'8" Liverland puts the kick through back to the winger finally, who regains it again, Bill Murray, and it was kicked through, charged down by Hughenden. The Bill Murray picked the ball up and was nearly over, then got the ball back to Liverland, but still a mistake there from Richmond. Bill Murray playing the ball forward, and I don't think he played it correctly, Kerry. That might be the ruling.
No, it was. He had a marker there, Chris, and he played the ball forward and consequently gave away a penalty. But Richmond are capitalising on this game. They're tossing the ball around and they're changing their tactics. They're sending the ball out. But we've noticed that Hughenden have not tried to exploit the blind side at all. They've used the open side right throughout this whole game so far, and they've been bogged down in their own half, as they are now.
And there's some solid defence. The big front row Ancient put in the ground by Candice and also Chris Higgs. Now to Dosser Edmondson, then out to Bevan Tees. He charges straight up the middle, but there's plenty of defence in there. The second row is Wheelo, Kent and Candice, and also the front row Todd Cody. Ball comes back to Dosser Edmondson, then away to Gibson. Picked out a one tackle, but referee Barry Jackson has signalled it's either a shepherd or a forward pass. I think it's a shepherd, Kerry.
Yes, I didn't think it was a shepherd. I thought it was more... from our angle, it looked more like a forward pass, Chris, but...
Todd Cody's going to take the 2 points and attempt to kick for goal.
And Chris Higgs is sitting down. I think he's holding an injury at the moment. Maybe just a bit of that magic sponge.
Yes, he's back up on his feet. That
side of the post as we look at it. And he's taking his steps back now, lining up this kick. It's a pretty hard kick. I beg your pardon, is 6-3. It's not. It's 3-0. The scoreboard is showing 6-0, but it's actually 3-0. And that kick was waved away. It went away to the left-hand side, so we'll see...
Richmond players took the ball and put his foot over the dead ball line, so it will be a drop out from underneath the goalpost.
Right.
Some good touch judging there, too, because as soon as he put his foot over the touch line, the dead ball line, the touch judge is very quick to indicate that his foot did go over. The ball taken by Greg Wheeler, knocking the ball on just out from the quarter line, so a scrum will go down there with the score, as the public address is saying, the boys on the scoreboard, it's 3-0.
Yes, they had me confused there for a minute. I looked up and thought it was 6-0, and however, we see the scrum packing down, and Eastoff puts the ball in, takes it out, but it goes out the same tunnel. The referee says, no, thank you, fellas, let's have it once again. So the scrum's packed down. Eastoff, a good clean scrum, and another scrum win to Hughenden. He sends it out to his 5'8", and Reggie Davis doubles around, sends it back to Eastoff. Eastoff's up to the 22, and he sends it out to Edmondson, out to the winger in Ron Rossiter, but Ron Rossiter has dropped the ball and Richmond come up with it.
Candy's quick play then away to the big fella McClimate. McClimate got a one-handed pass back to the centre Maguire. Maguire knocking the ball on, but Richmond might have been a little bit better than to hold onto the ball. McClimate just going to ground with the ball instead of trying to pass because there wasn't too many Richmond players over there when Hughenden lost that ball, Kerry. And
no, I think they were just trying to work that blindside a little bit too quickly, Chris.
Okay, the ball, Robbie Eustace putting the ball into Scummus. Another Hughenden scum win. The ball comes out now to the fullback Hodgson into the line, and he's wrapped up out there in the tackle of Kenny Hickmont. The ball comes back now. The dummy half, Reggie Davies, decides to have a run. Todd runs straight into Todd Cody, bounces back off Todd Cody, and will be called on to play the ball back. Plays it back